Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to another video. In this video we're gonna be using for loops and make a multiplication table program. So you can ask the user to enter a number and we will give a multiplication table for that number. So first things first, we need to import a scanner because to get the user input we need to have a scanner, right? So I'm gonna go above my class here and I'm gonna write import java.util.scanner. What this does, it's going to give us a scanner from these classes or these packages. Then we are going to make an instance of the scanner. If you don't know what I'm talking about or you don't know how to get the user input, then please watch my previous video where I talk about how to get the user input in Java. So we write scanner keyboard input, whatever you want to call it, equals to new scanner system.in. Again, just to go over this one more time, scanner is the class for which we want to grab the scanner. Keyboard input is the name of the variable we are doing, so just call this anything you want, and we're making a new instance of this. And system.in ensures that this is the input, not output, right? Because system.out is this to write something, system.in is to get something. Okay, so now we will write a simple statement because in your program you have to give the user an instruction to do something. So we will give them an instruction to enter a number. So we will say system.out.println, please enter a number. Okay, now whatever the number they enter, we have to store that in a variable. So I'm gonna make a variable on here and I'm gonna call it int num, and whatever number they enter we are gonna put that in the variable num. So I'm gonna do num is equal to keyboard input dot next int, which means whatever in their keyboard, whatever number they enter, whatever input they give, store that, get that, and store it in the variable num. Okay, now I'm gonna write another statement saying system.out.println multiplication table of num plus colon. So if we run this for now, you will see what happens. So here you can see that we are given an instruction, please enter a number. I can enter any number I want, let's say 12, and it says multiplication table of 12. Doesn't do anything yet, but as you can see it's working. I can enter numbers and I can get this statement, multiplication table of 12. This is again called concatenation, where you are concatenating the strings and the numbers together using a plus sign. So now we're gonna do a for loop because we want to create a multiplication table. Like if I enter the number 2, then the multiplication table should be from 1 to 10. 2 times 1 is equal to 2, 2 times 2 is equal to 4, 2 times 3 is equal to 6, 2 times 4 is equal to 8, so on and so forth. So instead of doing that manually, I can do a for loop, right? Because in the last video I told you, if you want to do something a couple of times and you know how many times you want to do it, you can use a for loop very easily. So we will do for loop. Now this for loop is going to start at 1 and it's going to go until 10. Now you guys can decide how much you want the multiplication table to be. I'm just gonna keep it simple, keep it until 10. You can keep it until 100, 1000, whatever you want. Okay, as much multiplication table you want, as as much as you need. So a very simple line that we need is this system.out.println, because remember we want to write this out 10 times, right? So I want to do, just think about this. The first line is going to be 2 times, let's say 2 times, let's put a comment actually, 2 times 1 is equal to 2. This is my first line of the multiplication table. How can I write that? I can write it. So 2 is what? 2 is a number that the user enters, let's say. So we can get the variable num plus concatenate with x, then add another plus, and 1 is the thing that is changing, right? It will become 2 because it will become 2 times 2 is equal to 4, 2 times 3, 2 times 4. That is I, because remember, I is the thing that is keeping the counter of our number here. It becomes 1, then becomes 2 using this increment. So I can just add I here. Then I add another quotation, add equals here, and I will do plus num multiply by I. Because remember, this is saying 2 is 2 multiplied by 1 is 2. 2 multiplied by 2 is 4. So num multiplied by I is equal to the result. So this is what we are doing here. Okay. So if I run this program now, I should get a multiplication table. So let's say we enter a number 2. Here you can see. Here you can see the whole program. We have multiplication table of 2 is 2 times 1 is equal to 2, 2 times 2 is equal to 4. So we got the whole multiplication table until 10. So we got 20, right? So this is how you can create a multiplication table program in Java using for loops. So first we import the scanner, then we make an instance of the scanner, call it keyboard input, and we make a variable called num to store the number that user enters. Then we tell the user what to do, give them instruction, which is very important, and whatever number they enter, we store it in the variable num that we created here. You can also create the variable here just like this. Instead of creating it here, you can do that. It will work the same way. Some people like to do that, some people like to organize it better. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Okay, so then we write out a statement that the multiplication table of this number that you entered is this. Using for loops, we write this statement, which is the number that they entered multiply by the counter every time is equal to number multiplied by I, which is first take the number here, put multiplication sign like this, then take the counter, which is here 1, we set it to 1, and do 2 multiplied by 1. It says okay. Now go back and increment the counter to 2. Now say number 2 multiplied by counter 2 is equal to 4. So that is how we can create a multiplication table. Hope you like the video. I'll see you in the next video. Thanks.